Hey, 5th and 6th grade, I hope you're doing well. I love seeing all of your eye drawings come in, your little maps of your eyes, talking about proportion, thinking about the different parts. You're doing a really nice job. Couple things that I noticed that some of you all may be looking at those eye drawings and be like, that's weird looking. There's a couple classic mistakes that folks make when they're drawing their eye. And let me just show you real quick. So, let me get back to my eye drawing. Okay, so when you are doing a drawing, any kind of drawing where it's something realistic, real life, something that's in front of you, whether it be a face or a cup or something like that, you have to figure out where those lines are and sort of get a feeling. You're always going to put a line down as a starting point, but it may not always be the right angle, the right curve, the right whatever, the right pitch. So you need to figure out what the real line is, what the real angle is. So your drawings are going to constantly change. They're going to constantly evolve, and you have to be okay drawing light, erasing, putting something down, taking something away, changing the angle on something. So what I'm going to show you right now is, this is my drawing from the other day. Okay. All right, let me see. Okay, so this is my drawing from the other day. And when you are doing an eye, sometimes when you draw eyes, folks will start out by doing that almond shape, right? You're just drawing a space, okay? This space is going to change because this is not anybody's eye. There's no like tear duct or soft curve or overlap with eyelids or anything like that. So that's just a space. People then assess how wide to make things. So we have 1, 2, that's about a third, and a third. And then they're saying, okay, next step is to draw in that iris, so that colored part, that big part. So what they do is they go from the top and down to the bottom, and what they do is they really start to stretch out that space. And very often, it's not even a true circle that they're doing. They almost go from, they have to cut off the top, they cut it off at the bottom, and it starts to become this sort of egg shape, this kind of oval shape, and that's not a human eye shape. And so you need to be really aware of that. And the reason why it starts to become an oval shape is because they're reaching a top and a bottom that are probably too far apart. So what you need to understand is maybe starting to readjust bottom lines, getting rid of a little bit of height, getting rid of top lines, getting in what looks to be a true circle shape, but understanding that that circle is going to get cut off. So I'm going to go in there, get rid of some of my stuff, get rid of the bottom. So you're going to start to evolve this idea and make sure it is truly a circle, even if it gets cut off at the bottom or cut off at the top. And we do want the top to be cut off because we're all not sitting there with big old bug eyes. But that's going to be more of an accurate approximation of an eye. All right. So you just want to be really careful about, your lid is going to overlap, but this circle needs to be what it is a true circle. Don't stretch it out, okay? So just be super careful about that. Second thing that I saw that was kind of funny is a lot of these top lids that some of you guys made were super duper close to where like the eyelashes grow out. So right here where I would have my eyelashes, a lot of you all made your lid line like really crazy close, which is sometimes in some locations it might be really close, but then you're going to have to look like it's not like a continuous curve. Sometimes it pitches up, sometimes it folds in a little bit more. So again, you're going to have to look at eyes and really figure how far away things are going to be. Sometimes it comes out, away, comes close, comes far, and then just kind of go from there. But I got to say, for the most part, those drawings were really, really good. Just allow a little bit of space in sometimes, okay? So what we're going to do today is talk about nose and mouth. When you do your nose and your mouth, especially noses, it's actually very, very few lines, and it's mostly just shadows and stuff. And what you're going to need to make good shadows is a blending stump. Now, I don't have a blending stump here at home, but I did kind of make one by just twisting some paper. And then with the little ridges of the paper where those overlaps is what is actually going to push around my pencil. So what I did is I just took a rectangular piece of paper just for my sketchbook, and you're going to cut it on a diagonal, so you end up getting a triangle. And that's what I have here. This is just an old one that I made, and you just keep rolling it and rolling it and rolling it until the paper gets really soft. You want super soft paper to do this, and you're going to roll that triangle starting from the wide part. You're just going to roll straight up until you get kind of just a log, and it's going to look kind of like a croissant or something like that. And you're just going to hold the tip of it, and you're just going to twist, twist, twist really, really hard until you get all those little pretty ridges, and those pretty ridges is what's going to push your graphite around. So all I'm going to do there is just tape it up, and then I've got myself a little blending stump. And you can make those anytime. And again, the more you twist that paper around and the tighter you get it, the better of a blending stuff you're going to get. Okay, so to start off your nose and mouth, just put nose, mouth, the date. Again, I'm going to need these by end of day tomorrow. You can put your name, please. And now we're not going to draw anybody's specific nose. You are not drawing your own nose. You can look at yours for reference, but I just want you to follow along with the notes just for today. Okay, so noses. You're going to start off with this thing. And let me just turn this around real quick. You're going to start off with this thing. This part is called your septum, okay? This is the bottom of the skin. You have kind of a wall in between your two nostrils, which divides which way your air flows up into your nose. So we're going to start off by drawing the septum. Now, when you draw the septum, in general, it's generally going to be lower than the sides of your nostrils, okay? So sometimes it's at the same level. Sometimes it dangles a little bit further down. But again, we're just going to be drawing a general one today. And then we're going to be drawing this kind of Cupid's arrow that sometimes people refer to, this connection point between your nose and your top lip. And a lot of it is just light and shadow. So that's why your little blending stump is going to be sort of your best friend, because it makes everything really subtle. When you draw noses and mouths and faces in general, you should start with a sharp pencil and end with a sharp pencil without having to sharpen in the middle. If you're sharpening in the middle, you're probably putting down way too much graphite, because all of this stuff is real subtle and real, delicate in terms of change. Okay, so again, we're just drawing a general nose, general parts, so you kind of understand the concept. Then we're going to work on drawing your own. Let me get this right. All right, so we're going to start off with a kind of just a gentle curve. Okay, that's the bottom, that septum part, that little dangly part in the middle. Then the next step that you do when you draw your nose is you kind of have these wingtips that come out. So it's the second line, and this is the top portion, and you want them as even as you can get it. That's pretty good, actually. Okay, that's that top portion that comes away. So one more time, let me make you dizzy. So we just started by doing this part, and then what we're doing, I'm trying to look at my computer so I can get it right for y'all, is this front portion right there. Okay, all right, so let's keep moving. So that front portion. Then we're going to work on the side, and the side of your nostrils are kind of like parentheses. And it's going to start up at the top, right in line above with the edge of your little wingtip for your front of your nostril. And it's going to kind of curve around. Now, these curves, you don't really want this bottom part of your parentheses to be lower than this part, okay? Sometimes it's at the same level for some people, but again, we're just drawing a general nose today. You want this part to be slightly higher than that part of the septum. And again, you're going to do the same thing on the other side, try to make it as symmetrical as you can. Okay. All right. So there's that. Now it's starting to look a little bit like a nose, isn't it? Now we have to do some shadow, because all a nose is a big flap of skin being held up by some cartilage. Okay, some soft tissue. kind of bony-like tissue. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to take some graphite, and I'm just underneath that nostril wing section. I'm going to apply some material. I'm going to apply some graphite, and then I'm going to take just kind of the tip, the edge, the side. Don't ever use the point of your blending stump. Use the side. I'm going to do little baby circles, and I'm going to pull down a small shadow. Okay, because this is just a big flap of skin and it's blocking light from getting places. So again, little circles right down, right underneath. You can sharpen up your edge if you wanted to. Dark darks and light lights really make for a really good looking nose. So same thing on the side is you're going to put a little bit of material down, and then you're going to start to pull some value. Pull some darkness on the side. We don't want a really hard line because it's not a separation in body parts. It's just a high versus a low. So again, put some graphite right there. Circle, 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 circle. Okay. You can use the edge and clean it up. I'm going to put a little bit. Again, don't push hard. I am barely pushing, and you also don't want to have really hard lines. It all should be shadows going down. So you want shadows on the low parts, and the high parts should be receiving kind of nothing. So this is kind of where an eye would end up going. Okay. So you have this whole eye bone called your oculus. That's where your eye kind of sits. But because your eye sits low, you need to kind of create some shadow within that space. Again, I'm just using the side. I'm creating some shadow, no lines. Lines are not good right here. We just want to kind of give the idea a space for those eyes to kind of be in a sunken in kind of location. Okay? So we can work on the eye section some more. I don't want this to be too flary. Hold on, let me get rid of that. Okay, all right, so super subtle. Now, if you have, all right, so there's that a little bit. There's a nose. And when you're working on the mouth, you're going to start by working on the little Cupid's bow. Again, we're just all drawing the same thing. You have a little bit of a line that kind of comes from your nostril. You have another little line, and don't make these the same length. And then what we're going to do in this middle section, we're going to make it kind of dark. I'm going to get rid of those hard lines. A little bit of shadow coming from the nostril there. Let me lighten up these lines. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah. So, a little bit of stuff here. A little bit of stuff here. Dark on one side, right underneath. Sometimes I like to use my finger, sometimes I like to use my blending stump, whatever kind of space works. Okay? Alright, so that is going to get adjusted as we go. Now, top lip. Usually what I actually do is I kind of start with the top lip shape. So you have to look at what you have when it's your time to do it. Right now, again, we're just drawing general shape. Top lip, and then you have the middle of the lip, which is very often a miniature version of what's happening with the top lip. Okay, and then when you do, remember your eye, your pupil is going to be in line with the corner of your mouth, but it's often not a full mouth that comes together. It's basically 3 lines, and then so we have the top of the lip, the bottom of the lip, the middle of the lip. Nora, plug back in. So, oh lordy. Okay, then I'm going to try to speak up. Eva, go help her. Go help her. All right, so I'm going to get some darkness in the middle. And darkness on the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to start to pull a little bit of value underneath. I'm going to pull, kind of rub out a little bit of value in the middle. I don't want this top of the lip to be an outline. I just want it to be value. I just want it to be shading, some darkness, because your lip skin is a little bit different than your skin. Okay, so we're just going to kind of fill it in. Again, you want to get some darkness right underneath that lip to help set off whatever's happening on that bottom lip. So again, super subtle. And again, this is not anybody's actual face. We're just kind of drawing a concept of a lip, okay? Sometimes people will have little smile lines, things like that. We just want to get the idea, okay? So that is basic lip. And when you see a lip and a nose, it is dark, light, dark, light, dark, and then light again right on the top, all right? Lots of different separations. All right? So, some interesting concepts. It's a pattern of dark and light. Let me do what I always do for all my classes, where I make a weird, crazy face. Let's see what I have here. We'll do a little nose ring situation. A little bit of snot coming out. Here's a little goatee. Here's some eyebrows. Here's some eyebrows. What else do I have? Here's a face. Here's a neck. All right, what else do I have? Eva, what else should I put on it? Oh, we need some ears, some elf ears. What else should I put on it?
Hair.
Hair, okay. And we need some hair. Okay, so there you go. Enjoy. He needs a shirt. Okay. I hope you enjoy drawing. It's pretty awesome, right? Right, he needs some sideburns. Some sideburns. You like it, Eva? Or we need the top of the head. We need the top of the head. It's pretty silly, right? And maybe like a necklace. A necklace. Mom. Necklace. Okay, wait, y'all didn't see it. Okay, there we go. There it is. But really, what I want you to do, draw a mouth, draw a nose with all the right shading. That's what I want. Make a mouth, make a nose with all the right shading. Don't make it silly, because, well, you can make it a little silly. Make it a little silly. All right, have fun. I want these tomorrow afternoon, and then spring break for you, but you have to stay in your house. Me too. All right, bye.